5 years ago, we were at a church for a long time that we loved and we still love and had a lot of deep, close friendships, relationships with. We had plans in our own minds, like this is where we would stay, this is where our kids would grow up. COVID hit that church and many other churches hard financially, and in that season they had to let 7 of us go on staff, and I was one of those 7. When I was alone in prayer and seeking God about what to do next, and I kept hearing this word revival, and I kept hearing this passage, Ezekiel 37, when the Lord tells the prophet Ezekiel to speak to the valley of dry bones and to prophesy, to speak the word to the valley of dry bones. And all of a sudden there was a rattle and the bones came together and flesh formed on the bones, and then a great army rose up filled with the Spirit of God. And I just felt like that was what he was calling. He put that call in my life to fight for revival. And so I felt very strongly as every door was closed. I just felt more and more confirmation. There's only one door that's left open, and it's to fight for revival in this city. I think we should try to do a worship night and just see if there's anybody that wants to join us and help start a church. And so we put out kind of the word that we were going to do a worship night. And so we get to that day in February, and it is the coldest day of the year, record low temps, -20 that night. Our friends have lent us their wedding venue, a view on state, to host this worship night. And we get there that night and we get all set up, and 120, 130 people showed up, and we decided that night, that was clearly from God. Like, we knew he was saying yes. 4/4/2021. We decided that would be our first Easter Sunday, and we just started meeting, gathering, worshiping together, just seeking the Lord and just seeking his will. We started in a wedding venue, and when we weren't able to use that, we went to Elmwood Park, found the Jewish Community Center, Concordia, Waterloo. I mean, God just kind of like, wherever he kind of opened up a door, whatever was available. There's just a lot of fun moments. I mean, some of my favorite moments are still like coming early, 5:30, 6 a.m. Yeah. But there's just something really special. Just trusting God every week for a place. Trusting God every week for everything. Yeah, provision. Just the people like he would bring into our lives, into every moment. It was just really special getting to steward that with guys like Jake and Pastor Andrew and Pastor Stone, like just preparing a place for people to come and meet Jesus, meet the Holy Spirit.
Meeting a flamethrower who lived on a bus that loved to call Revival home for a while. One of my fears in church planning was that our kids would not like church.
Yeah.
And so my favorite memories are my kids coming home just so excited.
One of the most fun things that we've seen in Vive Kids is just how the kids' prayer life has gotten so much deeper and more intimate. And, we went from praying for dogs and toys to now we're praying for, more in depth. Their prayers are more real. They're praying for healing. They want to see what God's doing, not only in their lives, but their friends' lives as they pray for each other. They're coming back every Sunday and checking in on their friends. How's grandma feeling, or how's your little brother, and what's happening in your life. And so just to see that is not only a reflection of what we're doing on Sundays, but just the growth of the parents and their spiritual lives as well.
At Revival Youth, I think my most impactful moment has been seeing the kids grow in their faith, but with also asking for prayer. That's one thing that we work with the students a lot on, is not being scared to ask or is too self-conscious. It's bringing anything that they have and being able to pray with them. I feel like that's really impactful because it teaches me to still pray out loud, but it also teaches them asking for prayer isn't something to be scared of.
The way that Revival has blessed us the most is just being invested in by the pastors and just older couples in the house, just investing in our marriage and our family.
Just the way that people pour in, the way that we feel so loved when we walk in. And like once Gray was born, just the amount of people that like say hi to him and like pour into him, and it's very evident that our family, my mom has started to come, and she can see that we're well loved here, and that's why we love to come to Revival.
All the different avenues, that creative elements that we've used for baptisms, just the joy that that brings, in that it hasn't mattered where we are. It still happens.
Yeah.
Like the little pond, the gross pond in the park where the maintenance guy cleaned it out the week before to allow for that to happen, or the kiddie pool that half drained or not, and we had to dump more water on him to make sure that he was really immersed.
One of the amazing parts about being involved with Revival has been just to see so many baptisms. And I'm just going to highlight a few because they're very significant for me. In 1 year, I was able to baptize my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and my wife. It was one of the most special moments I think I'll ever experience. It's very powerful until I get to baptize these guys. But it's been so fun to see my family just take a step of leadership in the church and serving in the church. It's been a blessing to be part of Revival.
You know, one of the things that we always wanted Revival to be was just a place for restoration, for healing, for marriages, but also for hurts, for wounds of all kinds.
We want to see people come alive in the fullness of the power and presence of God. And so our desire right now, we're believing God has a building for us. We're believing He's got land for us. We're believing it's going to be in a place that we're called to in this region that will be easy access.
One of my favorite things over the past 5 years is just watching the prayer team grow and the deliverance ministry. Just watching people understand like the importance of prayer and learning that they can hear from God has been really special.
The amount of healing and restoration that I've seen in myself and my family, and in Naomi and in her family, and the amount of spiritual growth and the level of authority that we now understand that we walk in. I think I never fully understood that growing up and up until coming to Revival. And now it's just, I feel so much more free and just excited about just walking with Christ every single day.
So the first impactful moment that I had at Revival was when I first encountered Revival. I kind of like crashed a weeknight Bible study thing, but it ended with a parking lot deliverance session. God chose to speak through Brennan to me, and I recognized his voice, which was basically like, he is here. I knew that he was here. And so through the power of Christ, we cast out a couple things and forgave the church. And that is how God chose to make a way for me to come back to his church. Because he came and got me when I was the one, but he's been very insistent on bringing me back to the 99. And he has brought me here.
But the people that have come along, man, they've been a blessing to us. They've been a blessing to this house. And I believe God has blessed them, their homes, their families, their marriages, as they've learned to follow the Holy Spirit, to follow His leading in their life, to be filled with His presence, to understand truly that they're temples of the Holy Spirit who lives inside of them, and that God has called them to live life and life to the full.